What's up, guys? Welcome back to Build Cool again. Today, it's back to work on our dirt bike to street legal adventure bike build. Off camera, I've already gone ahead and taken everything I plan to use to the parts washer and cleaned everything up to the best of my abilities without getting too crazy. So in this episode, our goal is to go ahead and get this one rolling. But there's a few things that are standing in our way. We're going to have to make some modifications to make the stuff from this frame work on this frame. So let me go ahead and get everything all set up, and I'll take you guys with me so I can show you guys the differences between the two and what we're going to have to do. But before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building cool shit. And while you're at it, head on over to Instagram and follow us at Build Cool Shit Again, where you can stay up to date on everything we're doing here and even catch a few sneak peeks. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright guys, I got both the frames set up next to each other, and we're going to start at the front, work our way back, and I'll show you guys the differences between the two frames. So on the left we have the frame that we started with, which would be the dirt bike frame, and on the right we have the frame we're planning to use. So right off the gate, this one's got a little bit less of a rake on the steering. It's a little bit longer in the rear. There's quite a bit other little differences. I don't think any of the geometry stuff is going to really matter. But let's see. Alright. So this steer tube comes in at 7 1/4. It doesn't really want to focus for you guys, but take my word. And then over here, this guy's only 6 3/4. Let's see. I think the fork will still work as long as we just put a few more spacers on the top. I think we can get it all together there. Hopefully. We shall see. And then our other main problem would be starting at the swing arm. The frame that it came off of is just a smidgen bigger for that bolt that goes through than this frame. So we're going to have to go ahead and drill those holes out. We're only going to have to go just a little bit, so I think we got this in the bag. Then, let's see. This guy is about 8 1/8, while this guy is about 8 1/4. So I think if we just put a washer on each side, we should be good. Just shim it right into place, and that'll take care of all of that. But then we have where the bottom of the shock mounts to, and this is completely different than what's on this frame. So I think the easiest way to go about it, because they've welded it all inside and out, and in order to cut all this off, I feel like I'm probably going to murder this thing. And then trying to set the geometry correct over here is going to be a lot of work. So our best bet is to just cut this one out. We'll cut this one out, move this guy to here. That will give us our brake mount and the lower shock mount on this frame. And then we'll probably build some braces like what they did here. We may tie it up right here. We'll just have to see how it all goes. But we'll do all the bracing at a later time after we get the motor kind of situated so we can make sure we're not putting stuff in the way. So let's get started on that. 45-degree weather, somehow we still pulled this puppy off. There's still a few things we're gonna have to address. I ran out of welding wire, so I'm gonna have to finish welding in that little bar we welded. But other than that, it's not that far off. We can make this work. And so, since we still got a little bit of time, I figured it's as good a time as any to pull out the old trike and show you guys what we did, and let's go ahead and make the repairs we're gonna need so this thing can be good as new again. Let's go. Alright guys, so on the last episode of the trike, when we did our test ride, we had some major problems. More specifically, the screws that hold the little sprocket here came undone, which allowed it to shift down the axle. When that happened, the chain popped off and ate up in here. It got stuck, bent the sprocket. It was bad news. So what I did is I've already gone ahead and hammered the sprocket as straight as possible again. And what we're gonna do is move those, we'll loosen everything up, get it all straightened back out where it needs to sit. We're gonna put some red Loctite in those screws, get the chain back on there, and she should be ready to ride again. So let's get going on this. Guys, so after a long day in the sun, we still managed to knock everything out. The adventure bike's rolling and the trike is all fixed. So before we get on out of here, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building. And with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace!